हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाये नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादः शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरम् भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Hari Om. We shall chant the seventh mantra. नान्तः प्रज्ञं न बहिष्प्रज्ञं नो भयतः प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानघनं न प्रज्ञं नाप्रज्ञम् अदृष्टम् अव्यवहार्यम् अग्राह्यम् अलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यम् Avyapadeshyam ekatma pratyayasaram prapanchopashamam shantam shivam advaitam chaturtam manyante sa atma savidneyah. So in the beginning, the Upanishad conveys that all this is Om. All that was in the past, that which is in the present, and that which will be in future is Om. And that which is beyond the three periods of time, that is also Om. Then again the Upanishad says all this is Brahma. And then the Mahavakya is revealed, I am Atma Brahma. So finally we have to realize, we have to recognize this Atma as Brahma. The Pratyagatma, the I which is experienced in this body, is to be understood, realized as Brahma. So in order to make us understand this, the Upanishad reveals the nature of this Atma in 4 steps. This Atma is indicated as having 4 pada. The first is Vaishvanara, the second is Hiranyagarbha, the third is Ishvara, and the fourth is the Turiya Atma. These 4 padas are like the 4 quarters of a coin. So the first quarter merges into second, the second into third, and all 3 merges into the fourth. So from the level of our understanding, the Upanishad step by step take us towards the final realization of the true nature of the self. Due to ignorance, I understand myself as a limited being. I understand myself as the doer of all actions, as the knower of all knowledge, and as the enjoyer of all results of actions. So I, the knower of this outer world, in the waking state, is called Vishwa. So as Vishwa, I am the knower of this outer world. But the Upanishad says this Vishwa is not different from Vishwanara. So instead of placing myself in Vishwa, I have to place myself in Vishwanara. So as Vishwanara, when I try to understand myself, I come to know that the knower of this world and the world both are Vaishvanara. Vaishvanara is knowing the world through the 19 mouths, and the world which is made up of the 7 limbs are Vaishvanara. So as Vaishvanara, when I look, then the knower as well as the known are my own self, are the expressions of my own self. So I, who consider myself as the knower of the outer world, as Bahish Pradnya, is a wrong notion. That wrong notion has to be dropped. Then again, in the dream state, I, as Taijasa, am the knower of the inner world. But the Upanishad says this Taijasa is not different from Hiranyagarbha. So as Hiranyagarbha, both the knower of the inner world as well as the inner world is not different from Hiranyagarbha. The knower of the inner world and the inner world are the expressions of Hiranyagarbha. And what happens to Vaishvanara? The Vaishvanara is absorbed in Hiranyagarbha. Then again, in deep sleep, the Upanishad indicate that I am Pradnya, who is a knower of nothing. Both the knower and the known of the waking and dream get absorbed in me. And I, the Pradnya, am not different from Ishvara. So Vaishvanara, who is absorbed in Hiranyagarbha, gets absorbed in Ishvara. So both the knower and known of the waking and dream merge in Ishvara. So the world of knower and known, both the waking as well as dream world, are expressions of Ishvara, are the roop of Ishvara. But what is the Swarup of Ishvara? The Swarup of Ishvara is Brahma. The Swarup of Ishvara is Turiya Atman. So in this mantra, the Upanishad reveals the Swarupa, my Swarupa. So my Swarupa is different from the Rupa, different from the form. See, like sugar. Sugar we see in the form of a, let us say, a cube, white cube, which we put in our tea or coffee. So white cube is the rupa, the form of sugar. But what is the swarupa of sugar, which we can experience with our tongue? The swarupa of sugar is sweetness. Similarly, the rupa of Ishvara is the Jagat, the Swapna, or is the Vaishvanara and Hiranyagarbha. But what is the Swarupa? That Swarupa is the Shuddha Atma, Turiya Atma, or Shuddha Brahma. That Shuddha Brahma is indicated in this mantra. So let us try to understand each and every word used in this mantra. It is indicating myself. This Pratyek Atma is indicated as Turiya Atma. I am Turiya Atma. That I have to understand. I have to realize. So how can I realize myself as Turiya Atma? By negating what I am not. By negating what I falsely have assumed myself to be. So here the Upanishad says ki na antapradnyam. I am not a knower of the inner world. Means I am not the knower of the dream world. Means I am not the knower of my antakarana. And na bahishpradnyam. I am not the knower of the outer world. See now, when I look out at this world through my senses, I see, I hear, I taste, I touch, I smell the world, and I say I know the world. Again, like when the body performs an action, I say I am the doer of that action. Suppose the body walks. Then what is my understanding? What is my experience? I say I am walking. So let us analyze this. When I say I am walking, what are the facts? The fact is the body is walking. The body is walking. And what is making the body walk? The pranas. The pranas give Shakti to the karmendriyas, to the jnanendriyas, to the antakarana, to the body. So the body walks by taking the power from the pranas and also guided by the karmendriyas and the jnanendriyas. With my eyes I see where I have to walk. With my legs I walk. But the indriyas, they function supported by the mind. If the mind is not present, then the senses will not be able to function. See, if I have to see something, not only my eyes are required, but the mind should be there behind those eyes, alert. Then I will be able to see. Even for a second, if the mind moves elsewhere, I'm not able to see. Like when we listen to pravachan, even for a short time, if our mind wanders somewhere else, we miss the pravachan during that time. So mind is required for the senses to function, but the mind also helps in my walking or seeing when the intellect takes the decision. See, I have the capacity to walk, but I will not walk unless the decision is taken. Like during winter, you are in your bed, warm and cozy under the blanket. Then the thought or the desire comes to go to the bathroom, go to the restroom, but you hesitate, you don't want to come out of that blanket. But finally, the intellect takes the firm decision. When the intellect decides, then it activates the mind, activates the pranas, activates the body, and the body goes to the bathroom. And when all these actions are happening, once the actions are concluded, another thought arises in the antakarana, claiming the actions as I went to the bathroom, I got up. So the thought of I, which we call ahankar. But in all this process, what is the role of Atma? What does the Atma do? What do, I the Atma? Nothing. I don't do anything. I'm not a doer of any actions. Actions happen according to the laws of nature, according to the vasanas, according to the prakriti. The Shakti which is required for an action to happen is provided by Prakriti. And the direction which is required for the actions is provided by the Vasanas, our samskars, which is due to avidya. So avidya and Prakriti together makes the actions happen. So avidya and Prakriti together is, is called a swabhav. So according to this swabhav, the actions happen. Swabhavastu pravartate. But what about me? What about Atma? Atma is not a doer. I, the Shuddha Atma, am not doing anything. So I am not a doer. Again, when I say I am a knower, that is also a false notion. Like some object is there, like this flower is there. It is seen by the eyes, pursued by the eyes. The thoughts of the flower happens in the mind. The emotions happen in the mind. The understanding happens in the intellect. And this knowledge is claimed by the ahankar by saying, I know. But what about Atma? Atma is not a knower. I am not a knower. But the process of knowing is happening in the world. Actions are happening in the world. Knowing is happening in the world. But I am not the doer. I am not the knower. What about the enjoyment? What about the joys and sorrows which we experience as a result of the actions? The joys and sorrows are also felt in the mind, in the intellect. The joys and sorrows are like happy thoughts or sad thoughts which happen in the antakarana. And the ahankar says, oh, I am unhappy, I am happy. But what about Atma? What about I? I am not an enjoyer. So I am not karta, bhokta, jnata. I am not the knower of the inner world. I am not the knower of the outer world. Na anta prajnam, na bahish prajnam, no bhayata prajnam. I am not the knower of this inner and outer world, the sandhi, the waking and dream. Sometimes we are half awake, half dreaming. I am not the knower of that world also. Na prajnana ghanam. I am not a knower of nothing in deep sleep. I don't remain there as a knower, but not knowing anything. I am not a knower in deep sleep also. So where am I the knower? The Upanishad says you are not a knower at all. Na prajnam. This knowing and all is the activities happening in the antakarana. Just like walking is happening in the body, but I am not that body, I am not the one who is walking. Similarly, knowing is happening in the antakarana, but I am not the knower. Experiencing is happening in the antakarana, but I am not the experiencer. I am not a knower. So does it mean that I am inert? Upanishad says no, na aprajnam. Not that I am inert. I am Chaitanya Swarupa. I am of the nature of knowledge itself. Just like the sun. We say the sun is illumining the world. When I see something in this world, it is illumined by the sun. We say, oh, the sun is illumining the world. But if you see from the standpoint of the sun is not illumining the world. The sun is just existing, and sun is of the nature of light. He doesn't go illumining the world. He is just present as of the nature of light. In its presence, the world gets illumined. Similarly, I, the Turiya Atma, am of the nature of light, of the nature of knowledge. In my presence, the senses, the mind, the intellect does the function of knowing according to its swabha. Depending on the swabha of my antakarana, the antakarana functions differently. Your antakarana function differently from this antakarana because of difference in swabha. But the Atma is free from all these activities. So by saying na antapradnyam, na bahishpradnyam, na ubhayatapradnyam, na prajnanaganam, na pradnyam, na apradnyam, the Upanishad negates no worship of this Atma. Not only no worship, but do worship and enjoyship also. That I, the Atma, am not the knower, doer, enjoyer. But it was said that this Vishwa is the knower of the outer world. Tejasa is the knower of the inner world. Prajna is the knower remaining in the deep sleep without actively knowing. So by saying na antapradnyam, na bahishpradnyam, na ubhayatapradnyam, etc., the Upanishad is negating Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna. That is what we understand. And if all of them are negated, then only Shunya will remain. Shankaracharya says, no, it's very important. He says that the wrong notions in Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna are negated. they are not negated completely. Their wrong notions which we are holding on is negated. If they are negated completely, then there will not be any way to know that Turiya. So I am the knower of the outer world. In this statement, knower of the outer world is a false part. I am is true. When I say I am walking, walking is a false notion put on myself. I am. That walking is happening in the body. I am seeing. Seeing is a wrong notion on myself. I am. Seeing is happening in the senses. Similarly, I say I am thinking. I am not thinking. I am. Thinking is happening in the mind. The nature of the body, the senses, the mind, intellect is wrongly put on myself. That has to be negated to understand myself as I am. So I am in the waking, I am in the dream, I am in the deep sleep, but I am a knower, I am a doer, I am an enjoyer is the wrong notions put on I am. So here in this 6 words, the Upanishad negates this notion first. Says you hold on to I, but what you are thinking about yourself, you just drop them as false. Know them as wrong. And it is clearly, one can understand it also. Just like when the body is walking, I know I am not walking, the body is walking. The action of walking is happening in the body. Just like breathing. While awake, we say, oh, I am breathing. But when I am asleep, what happens to the body? Does it breathe or does it not breathe? The breathing continues. I am not there to claim the breathing. So, really speaking, I am not breathing. The breathing is part of nature, it is happening. Similarly, the knowing is also part of the functions of the senses, the mind, intellect, not my function. Then again, the Upanishad says this Turiya Atma is adrishtam, cannot be seen. Whatever the senses see is the world. So this world is made up of seer and seen. So the senses see the world, the eyes see the fire element, the ears hear the space element, the nose smells the earth element, the tongue tastes the water element, the skin touches the air element. In this, I don't have any role to play. They are my roop only, but I am not involved in the actions. So eyes can see form, but eyes cannot see me. Ears can hear the world, ears cannot hear me. Nose can smell the world, nose cannot smell me. In Upanishad also we are seeing the mantras saying Yan manasa na manute ena ahur manomatam tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. Brahma is that which cannot be thought of with the mind, but the mind can think because of Brahma. Because of the presence of Brahma only, mind has got the ability to think. But mind cannot think about Brahma. Similarly, the eyes can see because of the presence of Brahma, but the eyes cannot see Brahma. Ears cannot hear Brahma, but ears can hear because of the presence of Brahma. So that Brahma, the Turiya Atma, is adrishtam, cannot be seen. Avyavaharyam, no transactions happen in that Turiya Brahma. Vyavahar cannot take place, do not take place in the Turiya Atma. See, in the world, Vyavahar happens through the senses, the Vyavahar take place. Interaction happens between the senses and the world. But in Turiya Atma there is no Vyavahar. Avyavaharyam. Agrajyam. It cannot be grasped. With our karmendriyas, we cannot hold that Atma. cannot be grasped. Alakshanam cannot be indicated with any characteristics. Alakshanam. Achintyam, one cannot think about it, Atma. The mind thinks within the field of known. Mind moves in the field of known. Mind doesn't think about the unknown. Sometimes certain things are unknown that those things can become known. And when they become known, the mind can think about them. But Atma is unknowable and unknown. Mind cannot think about it. Atma. Achintyam. Therefore, Avyapadeshyam, that Atma cannot be taught to others also. It cannot be taught. In Upanishad also, the mantra says, the Upanishad, the Rishi says that we don't know how to teach this Atma because it's different from the known and beyond the unknown. So, Avyapadeshyam. So, this seems very disappointing that Atma is indicated by negating everything. It is not a knower, it is not a doer, it is not an enjoyer, cannot be seen, one cannot interact with it, one cannot grasp it, one cannot indicate it, one cannot think about it, one cannot teach it. So it is impossible. Is it impossible to know that Atma? Now the most beautiful thing which is said is that Atma is Ekatma Pratyaya Saram. Ekatma Pratyaya Saram. About that Turiya Atma, there is one pratyay which happens in our antakarana. What is the pratyay? Aham, aham, aham pratyay. Pratyay means a thought. I thought happens spontaneously in our antakarana. And even when that I thought is not happening in deep sleep, when we wake up, we indicate the deep sleeper also as I. So there is that aham pratyay. It is called atma pratyay. It's a thought. So Upanishad says कि एकात्म प्रत्यय सारम. Saram means anusaram. He says it can be followed or it can be grasped by following the I thought. Very beautiful. Shankaracharya writes, एकात्म प्रत्यय सारम जाग्रदादि स्थानेषु एकः अयम् आत्मा इति अव्यभिचारी यः प्रत्ययः तेन अनुसरणीयम्. That in Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti, that is something which remains common. See, the waker is not available in dream. The dreamer is not available in deep sleep. But there is something which is available in all these three states. In the waking state, there is this sense of I, the thought of I. I refer to myself as I. In the dream also, I refer to myself as I. The same I which was in the waking is present in the dream and also is referred as I. Other things have dropped off. And in deep sleep, there is no I thought, but when I wake up, I refer to that deep sleeper also as I. He is also known as I. So that I is common in all these three states. So the Upanishad says that ekatma pratyay, this is called ek atma pratyay. Atma pratyay means I thought. Eka means it is common, one only everywhere. Saram means anusaram. It is something which can be followed, which can be traced to its source. And this is the main thing which Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi Ji also teaches. In his teachings, he has taken the sar of this Upanishad. Ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvata ahi patatyaham nija vicharanam ahaminasha bhaji aham taya spurati rut swayam paramapurna sat. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi Ji says, you trace that I to its source. Trace that I to its source means, for example, if I have the thought of this flower in my mind, what is the source of that thought? This object. This object is the source of that thought. Similarly, if I have the thought of I, what is the source of that thought? The source of that thought is Turiya Atman. And in that Turiya Atma, there are no thoughts. Even the I thought is not there. But when the I thought is there, the source of that I thought is this Turiya Atma. So dropping all the mask or dress which is put on this I, the pure I, aham, you just trace the source, means find out where even the I thought disappears. All other thoughts have already disappeared. Because in I thought there is no idam vritti. In aham vritti there are no idam vrittis. So drop all the idam vrittis. Then hold on to this aham vritti and find its source where that aham vritti disappears. That is Turiya. That is what you are. Ekatma pratyaya saram. Shankaracharya ji further he writes about this ekatma pratyaya saram कि अथवा एक आत्म प्रत्ययः सारं प्रमाणं यस्य तुरीयस्य अधिगमे तत् तुरीयम् एकात्म प्रत्यय सारम्. He said to understand, to realize this Turiya Atma, this Atma Pratyaya is the Sar. Another meaning of that word Sar is Pramanam, is the Praman, is the evidence. Hold on to this I subjectively, and it will take us to our own self, which is indescribable, ungraspable, cannot be seen, which is not a knower, not a doer, not a thinker. But the only thing which can take us to that self, which is the subtlest support, is the I thought. Therefore, Shankaracharya ji quotes from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. He says, कि आत्मित्योपासीत. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, that Supreme Brahma is revealed, and the Rishi tells the student, disciple, that you meditate on this Brahma as Atma, as I. The I is already wiped out, clean of the body, the mind, the intellect, the senses, and everything. They are all idam, idam, idam. So drop all idam. Idam means this. See, this ahankar is also the I thought which is holding on to idam. So drop all idam. Just aham, I. And just hold on to that I and trace its source. See, just like a mirror, if this flower is kept in front of the mirror, you can see the reflection of this flower in the mirror. How that reflection comes in the mirror? It is the nature of that mirror to just reflect whatever is in front of it. Similarly, our antakarana is like a mirror. It has two types of reflection. One is it reflects the world, and another is reflects the self, means the presence of the self is experienced in the antakarana as I. So holding on to that I go to the source and remain there as the source, as that. That is the Turiya Atma. Ekatma pratyaya saram. You think about this, contemplate, meditate, drop everything. Everything else is useless. Everything else, you are not that. You are wasting your life for saving something which we are not. We are not the body, we are not the mind, we are not the intellect, we are not the knower, feeler, thinker. We are that supreme Brahma, the Turiya Atma, which can be realized by holding on to I. More about this we will see in our class on Monday. Till then, you take care. Be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and see you again soon. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Bole Siya Ramchandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari